Well, welcome to my weekly self-important Magic the Gathering show. This week, I decided I wanted to cover the Sonic the Hedgehog secret lair. Anyone who is familiar with the cards in that lair might notice that Tails doesn't have his own deck. That is because his deck cares about vehicles, so I sequestered him off into the folder about vehicle commanders. So he will be showing up at some other time. To start things off, let's go with Sonic the Hedgehog. Gotta go fast. Sonic the Hedgehog is 1 and Jeskai for a 2/4 Hedgehog Warrior. With haste, as you might expect, because he gotta go fast. In fact, he has the ability, gotta go fast. Whenever Sonic the Hedgehog attacks, put a +1 counter on each creature you control with Flash or Haste. Flash is the ability to cast something that is not an instant at instant speed. And then whenever a creature you control with Flash or Haste is dealt damage, create a tapped treasure token. That is a very interesting ability. So next we have Miles Tails Prower. 1 white-blue for a 3/1 Fox Artificer with Flash and Flying, which is funny. Whenever a vehicle you control enters, draw a card if it has Flying, otherwise put a Flying counter on it. We're probably not going to have too many vehicles in this deck, but we're going to have a non-zero number probably just to give him a few hits. At least one, but we'll get to that in a minute. Amy Rose, 2 red-white for a 3/3 Hedgehog Warrior. Also, haste. Whenever Amy Rose attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment to her, then up to 1 other target attacking creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is her power, so that's neat. So we're probably going to have a couple of equipment in here. At least 2, but we'll get to those in a second. Knuckles the Echidna, 2 and 2 red for a 2/4 Echidna Warrior. I like that besides the Artificer, they're all warriors. We may or may not do something with that in these colors. Probably not, but you know. What's more important is that he has haste, but also trample and double strike, which is neat because he punches with both fists, I assume. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, get a treasure token. Neat. That's half of a professional Facebreaker. And then Treasure Hunter, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 30 or more artifacts, you win the game. Doubt that'll ever happen, but hey, we can dream. We're probably not going to have that dream, though, because we're not going to try to get that. Then we have Tornado Sonic Spy Plane, which is actually Urza's Weatherlight. Or Joyrez or Sisay's or whoever's piloting it now. It was Joyra last time I saw, but she probably got replaced. It's a 4/5 vehicle with crew 3. It flies, so we draw a card if Tails is out first. Whenever Tornado deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. Historic cards are legendary cards. I think they have to be creatures, but it could also be legendary spells. Let's actually just hit card info. Legendary, so anything that is legendary, whether it's a permanent or not. Artifacts and, of course, sagas. Then we have Unexpected Windfall featuring Knuckles. I don't know why they chose this one. This is probably one of the weirder cards in the secret lair as far as choices go. So it's 2 and 2 red for an instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and create 2 treasures. I guess because they kind of didn't want to put too powerful of a card that created treasures. Or at least not 2 powerful cards that create treasures. We'll get to that in a minute. Then we have the Super State. 7 generic mana for an aura. Enchant a creature you control. Enchanted creature has base and power and toughness 9/9, has flying, first strike, trample, and haste. Honestly, I'd probably put, if I had my druthers, I'd put the super state maybe on tails. I don't know, depending on when I cast everything. Pardon me for being thirsty. When enchanted creature deals combat damage to an opponent, which it has trample, so that's good, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. And then we have our 3-color lands that I didn't bother personalizing that much, but I'm going to do it with the basics. Look around for something that's cool for Sonic in the islands. Oh, you probably don't see that, but a bunch of things popped up on my screen that were announcements. Oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, this actually, even though it's $2.29 per them, well, it's a 3-color deck, so we only have 3. But this is definitely a very Sonic the Hedgehog level-looking place, because it's all about those straightaways that you run down. And then the Master Emerald Shrine for Command Tower. I'm not worried about these other ones. There is one weird land that I like for this. It's a little further down. There it is. This one. I don't know, it kind of feels like a Sonic the Hedgehog level. And now the plains. I don't know, something about 7th Heaven hits right. I know I said I wasn't going to care, but a couple of these I kind of cared. I do like this one from Lord of the Rings for that. Is it more? It's also less expensive than the one that was default because that was from Mystery Booster 2. Oh, it got moved because I changed the other one. Then we have the Power Sneakers. Pico Hammer, which is the hammer of Nizan. So it does the thing where this auto-equips and it also causes other hammers or other pieces of equipment to auto-equip. And then gives the equipped creature +2/+0 and indestructible. That's neat. And then because it's the Chaos Emerald, we have the Lotus Petal in here, even though it's proxy the heck out of this. Since it sacrifices artifact, create 1 mana of any color, or add 1 mana of any color, this is some CDH stuff in this not CDH deck, but it's just there for flavor. Then, of course, Sonic Soul Ring. Knuckles Glove, which is the Reaver Cleaver, and this is what I was talking about when I said they didn't want 2 overpowered cards that created treasure tokens. This is 2 in a red for a piece of equipment that equips for 3, so that's quite the investment if you want to use it the turn you play it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, you get that many treasure tokens. Then we got the Sonic the Hedgehog Generous Gift. Open the Armory featuring Amy. Fabricate featuring Tails. And that is all that's in here. So he has the Air Power Sneakers. The other Swiftfoot Boots is what is it? The air shoes, I think is what Shadow's shoes are. So they're not going in this deck. That's just kind of a thing I put on myself. Let's see. We're gonna put a silly card in here. Well, a silly card that goes with Sonic. It's kind of funny. Pyrohemia. You might remember this from I think it was in a Mardu week. At the end of your turn, if no creatures are in play, sacrifice Pyrohemia. But you can pay red to have it deal 1 damage to each creature and each player. So you can I mean, you're gonna want to put something on Tails to make him survive that, otherwise he's gonna go bye-bye. But you can do that to pop out treasures from all of your things with haste. And that's this thing's whole thing. Now I'm gonna look for other things that do that. 1 damage to each. That's each opponent. Aggravate. I should order CMC. Order CMC. Each opponent. This is a sacrifice effect, but it's each creature without flying is actually kind of good because it misses Tails. You know what? He gets to go in. I actually like him, even though he's a sacrifice effect. Yeah. We might end up putting Basilisk Caller in here. Although I don't know if he counts to still having Death Touch when that goes. Fearfire Foes is kind of funny because we can do it to ourselves, but I don't know how much we want to go into this particular meme with stuff that only happens once. Like, this thing's funny because it gets us and our opponents. Oh, sacrifice an artifact. It deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Hello. Like, and we're gonna have treasures. Each attacking creature. That's each opponent. Each attacking creature again. Oh, so these are the same thing. Only one of them can be paid with life. Each player, each opponent, each creature without flying. I do like that. Because again, it's each creature. And that is technically the cheapest version of this. Okay, this costs 2. Okay, so we're in things that cost 2. So I want, I definitely want repeatable. I probably should minus O to opponent. So I'm going to minus O opponent and see if that clears out. Minus O opponent. I'm going to also minus O target. That'll get rid of... Oh, fire magic. So the first three things. And then another thing further down. And then now we're in here, we do want repeatable. Ooh, each other creature without flying. And it's a tap ability. We don't want to sacrifice lands. That's dinosaurs. Warmonger is neat, but everybody can do it, so that's not cool. Okay, this is a funny version of it because it has protection from red. So it doesn't say other. It's just it doesn't take damage from itself. We obviously are going to have other stuff in this deck, especially since we're... Oh, this one does hit itself, but it has a lot of toughness. It also costs 8, so we're kind of in the spot where I don't. Yep, okay. So we're done with this silliness. We have a couple of repeatable ones and a couple of one-off ones. We'll put the pingers... Put all of these in one spot. And we're just going to call them all pingers because that's what they do. Let's see. This can stay in its own section for now. Let's put in a basic removal suite. And then a basic protection suite. So we want T instant O parentheses O destroy or O exile O target. I probably could have done this, put the target back there and not had to backspace, but there we go. So many things. mean, you can say them when you see them, because you know exactly what's going in here if you've watched any of my videos before. Da, 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 da. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I missed something, but then it's like, oh, wait, no, that was a sorcery. So I gotta wait until I'm doing sorceries. I mean, I could do both instants and sorceries at the same time, but then it gets to be a lot to read. There we go. I missed Reality Shift because I don't recognize its picture. And then there's 2 in the 3 mana slot. Our good friend, the elephant. Oh, he's already in there. And then our good friend, the Stroke of Midnight. There we go. Scroll to top. Let's see. And then it's Shattering Spree. I don't think I need Mizium Mortars or Delayed Blast Fireball for this deck just because of the pingers. We are still going to use Vandal Blast, Settle the Wreckage, Aetherize, and Aether Spouts. There we go. So, oh, that's 18 pieces of removal. Even though we got a bunch of technical, like, some could be removal over here, even though they're board wipes that hit all of our stuff as well. How many total cards are we at? We're at 76? Nice. 76 cards. We're going to go in here and throw down preferred printings. You know, I don't know what version it is that I use. Oh, Commander Masters. I like it because it looks like they're getting digitized. That does look like a video game. And then our good friend Deadpool just shows up wherever he wants. Unwanted Remake is just a hilariously flavorful card. You know what? I feel like this mouse fits. This is my normal go-to one, but I'm just checking on something. Okay, it was not put in Bloomborough as far as I can tell. Mild sad. So we'll use that one. There we go. Now I'm going to try something. T artifact art gem. MV equals 2. I forgot that part. Okay, let's grab our arcane signet. There's the materia. There's also this crystal ball, which is interesting. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this one from Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander. Weird Commander Masters one. Using this one is tempting. I guess that's also a gem. There's also this. Again, I don't know what this is from, but still reminds me of Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet. And that does feel like a good one for this as well. Then we have this Azorius Signet, this Boros Signet, this Izzet Signet, it's inefficient, but we will do the diamonds. We could do the medallions as well. Let's look at the different talismans though. I think I'm going to go with the magazine. This is 3D glasses is kind of funny. And bow ties are cool. We'll do. That kind of makes me want to go with all 3 magazines, even though like this fits the hey guys, you know, kind of 90s trying too hard to be cool aesthetic, but we're doing this instead. My hey guys was also kind of awful. And oh, that is 12 pieces of ramp, although one of them is a little over. I'm thinking Cold Steel Heart, but we're probably fine for now. Especially since our commander and Knuckles over here and this single card all make treasure. Though, yeah, this helps makes the treasure. So now we are at 86. Let's look at creatures with haste. T creature O haste. I mean, we could do haste or flash, but I don't think there's a whole lot with flash that I care about. Yeah. Haste is more important than flash to me. Instant or sorcery for wizards, flying lifelink haste. Order CMC. And we have 8 creatures including our commander, and one of them sacrifices themselves. So yeah. We're just going to call that friends. So what do we got? All these things give haste. Oh, there was one. T art minus T creature O indestruct. Oh, equip. Dark steel plate because Amy Rose can auto equip it to herself. Mithril coat. Shadow Spear always feels like a good include. I don't think we're going to do Cauldron Complete this time. I'm not going to bother making them hexproof because I only have 11 more spots, and those all should be creatures. Let's just... do our weird video game crossovers. Let's see, then those other ones. Oh yeah, I did only add 3 things, huh? Okay, so now it's got to be creatures with haste. Okay, we also want ones that have slightly higher than 1 toughness, because we don't want them getting immediately murked. Ash Party Crasher has haste, and then when they attack, if 2 or more non-land permanents into the battlefield under your control this turn, she gets a +1/+1 counter. Treasures are non-land permanents, because it doesn't say non-token. Oh wait, let's check for versions. Slivers, Vigilance Haste, Charming Scoundrel can create another treasure token or give us a Wicked roll, which gives +1/+0 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, none of that helped. I was really hoping that it would tell me what the Wicked roll did, but that's fine. Oh. We'll do this Charming Scoundrel, whoever the heck this is. Although this appears to not be available. Well, it's pretty to look. It's different than the other ones, tell you that much. So we'll do this one instead. Maybe it hasn't come out yet. Yeah, but this one has a whole bunch of different stuff. Even though it is, I mean, it can Wicked roll itself, but we can also do all this other stuff. Gives other things haste. We don't care about giving other things haste because everything we put in here is going to have haste. Flying in haste. Oh yeah, casting second spells. Sure, Malcolm. I mean, with those treasure tokens, we might be casting 2 spells a turn. Oh, Mary, if Mary... Oh, this is from the... Yeah, I think this is part of the panorama. We get to draw... That's a piece of card draw that we're missing. The red herring reminds me of a card I want to put in, but I don't know if it has haste. Sprite Dragon. We probably have enough non-creature spells for this thing to be decent. Oh, and we're gonna make it this Universes Beyond card. I know this is a lot of like we're still in the low end stuff. Oh, Brothers Yum. The Brothers Yamazaki. Well, we're in the Goblins. That's usually not a whole lot worth reading. Huh. Kilo Apogee Mind proliferates, but that's not what this deck cares about. Flying Vigilance Haste for 3. Though I think that got power crept in Dragonstorm by like slightly better stats. We don't want just one haste, we want haste and does something. 5 p.m. right now where I am, when I am. And it's, Stormfleet Sprinter can't be blocked. That's neat. I don't know if that's good enough. Tajik Legion's Edge is complete non-bow at the point of some of the cards in this deck. There's probably something else I'm going to look up. Like how many hedgehogs there are in the game. You know what? Our good friend Go-Go. Like, we don't need to give haste, but the double Sanic the Hedgehog triggers, you know it. We're at 4 mana value. What does the Aetherflux Genius do? Who looks like a YouTuber OT. Has something to do with energy, which you don't care about for this deck. There's Sanic the Hedgehog. Esper Valley Gormandia has haste. Huh. I mean, it's a temporary. Oh, my eye. I don't want to go back to the eye doctor. Although, no, that's not really my eye. That is the, like the part of my nose next to my eye. That's weird. Anyway, this is interesting. Exile an instant or sorcery from each graveyard. And then we add red for each lore counter on it. And this thing looks like it goes up to 4. So it goes 2, 3, 4 red. And then you can cast those spells with mana of any type. And as I tend to say, stealing from graveyards is a-okay because they weren't using it, even if they're Golgari. So we're going to put that in just mostly because I want to use it. Other creatures you control have haste, and they can cheat stuff out with the warp ability. This guy deserves his own deck. He's from Edge of Eternities, for the record. Thundering Raiju can deal damage to our opponents based on the number of modified creatures we control other than Thundering Raiju. You know what? This is just a good insert because it can make our other creatures bigger so they can survive more hits from our pings, and also can deal damage to our opponents. we want to attack with all of our stuff, sorry all the law above, and it also does all of these fun things. And is a 4/4. We'll do the character sheet version. I guess it's supposed to be the dossier version, but you know, whatever. Arthur Marigold Knight is mildly interesting. It's like you get a free creature for the attack, but it goes back into your hand at the end of combat if it's still around. But I forgot Evo or Battle Ready existed. When they attack, they deal damage with the number of equipment you control to each opponent. That should be a deck. I'll think about that. Oh, Goldspan Dragon also makes treasures, so that's... Oh, we're going to use this version. Just double checking. Yeah, we're going to use this almost $30 version. Iron Man, not going in this deck. Oh, there's also Chrome, Ludovic's Opus. Whenever an opponent casts his or her second spell, we draw a card. I like that it... and then we can also have it be this person from Final Fantasy 16. I like cards, as I was saying, I like cards that disincentivize our opponents from casting more than one spell a turn. So either we draw a card or they don't do much. Either way, I feel like we win. Dinosaurs on a spaceship. We gotta almost be at the end. We're at mana value 6. Oh, another summon. Does 3 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures. Neat. Up to 3 target creatures can't block. Discard a card, draw 2 cards. When you discard a card this way, this creature deals damage equal to that card's mana value to each opponent. You know what? Fine. That's going in the deck. Does it have another printing? Yay, cool printing. The 2 summons are probably the first 2 things to come out if we went over. So, Ogiva Enigma Goliath costs 7, so it's kind of a big ask. But whenever you cast non-creature spell, you get X/1/1 Phyrexian Goblins. where X is the mana value of that other spell. They gain haste until end of turn, which means you can activate Pyrohemia and just, it's like, I didn't need these goblins, I want tapped treasures for next turn. Though, again, this thing being 7 mana value. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Whew. Probably not worth it. Oh, we finally reached the end. Scroll to top, because just in case we want to look for stuff. Oh, we went 1 over. Oh, I do want to, there is one thing. T hedge. Okay, these are the only 2 hedgehogs. At least that are in these 3 colors. Okay, so you go into copy. I think I will dump both summons, as much as I like them, and then go type. Yeah, I'm going to add 1 more creature. You can stay in enchantment. You can stay in life gain. I'm just checking stuff. I could add... Oh, I can actually move this. Even though this goes up here and counters, because that's what it cares about. We have 2 out of 3 tutors. Honestly, I think that the last thing should be a second vehicle. Vehicle O haste. And we're not going to CMC because I just want to get to the best one. Yeah, that doesn't help. Mech Titan Core, that's always funny. Thundering Colossus, or Thunder Steel Colossus. Sure, let's hide that in there as a just kind of a funny. Because Tails will give it flying. Sure, why not? Yep, that's the 100th card. That was funny. Could this deck be better? Sure, of course it could. Do I care? Not a whole lot. There wasn't a... I'm set. Please reprint Ash Party Crasher to give her more options of how to look. Could this deck be better? Sure, why not? Funny that this thing, being a 7/7, is called the finisher, but whatever. Yeah, sure, why not? That's that one. We are going to do Shadow next. That seems fitting. Chaos Control, because that's how he says it. I really like this one. So Shadow the Hedgehog is 2 black, 2 red for a 4/2. I believe that's the exact opposite of Sonic's stats. Hedgehog Mercenary with haste. Whenever Shadow the Hedgehog or another creature you control with flash or haste dies, you draw a card. I like the draw card. Chaos Control. Each spell you cast has split second if mana from an artifact was spent to cast it. As long as it's on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Hopefully in the rulings, there's like some stuff, weird stuff with split second that you can still do whether or not it matters or helps. Is another thing, but I do like this. Just, I like drawing cards. Who doesn't? Deadly Dispute. This is Shadow's other thingy. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. Water tastes so good today. We got Super State again. We got Knuckles Gloves again. That is because Knuckles is in this deck too. And Unexpected Windfall. And then we got our lands for the Rakdos Color Pair. I didn't really personalize them. We have the Master Emerald Shrine, even though a $2 color deck doesn't really need Command Tower, but... Oh, and we went far more dark for his mountain. And for his swamp, we went with the Murders of Karlov Manor because they're edgy. And then he has the Air Shoes instead of the Power Sneakers. And then the Chaos Emerald again. Soul Ring again. So... So what are we gonna do? Let's do our ramp and then get whatever. Man, now I want a Mega Man. Well, it could have a full set, but I'd be happy with a cool secret layer. I mean, Mega Man could have several sets. Mega Man could probably have its own card game, like each expansion based on its own game, depending on how the game played, obviously. Anyway, so T artifact MV equals 2 art gem. We're doing that again. Arcane Signet, but there was a different one I decided I liked. It was down here. Oh yeah, this glove. Then the charcoal diamond, then the fire diamond. The medallions actually have a higher chance of, well, not that one obviously because that's for green, but the medallions have a higher chance of making it into this deck. In fact, yeah, let's do that. Even though they don't help with our commander at all until he dies at least once. There's that one. There's this one. Yeah, let's go with this one. And then the jet medallion. Oh yeah, that's this weird eyeball thing. And then there's this where it's a necklace. Which is actually, this one is calling back to the original, I notice. That's neat. But we're going to do this one. So how many pieces of ramp is that? We're at 7. We're going to do Cold Steel Heart, because if you know, you know, on the waifu. So we're at 7, although one of them is that stupid thing. The one-time use item is what I meant. that's 8. I guess we do want to go to 13 maybe. Especially since we kind of want, I just like this art, even if it's not the most fitting. Break into robots. Rakidosignet. This is the only one that's not a brand. Talisman of Indulgence. We have an earring over here from being worn by an evil guy. I think we'll go with that one. It's like, I turned your Chaos Emerald into a gem, like a dirt bag. Is that 13? Nope, that's 12. So we do want, let's throw in the Iron Crag just because it's, although we can do the Thought Vessel instead since we're theoretically drawing cards. What do we got? Oh, that one's actually gem-like. Though it costs like $10, over $10 more than any other one. Don't touch that. That's where I keep my most terrible ideas. I think we're going to go with this one. There we go. And now our removal suite. Yay. Let's see. We're not doing a whole lot of... So, T instant order CMC destroy target. I'm not going to worry too much about versions on this one. We'll do cast down. Go for the throat. Heartless Act. Infernal Grasp. Terminate. And honestly, I'm not too impressed with mono black removal because we only got to 5. And like we could put in, you know what? Let's put in the chaos ones just because they since it's chaos control hardy har har and it shows that he doesn't actually really have control. So, Wild Magic Surge, Chaos Warp, Gruff Rewrites History, and there's going to be one more a little further down. Transforming Flourish. That at least gets that up to 9. And then we do Vandal Blast. I just had a thought. I don't normally put these cards. So, yeah, Blasphemous Act, 13 damage to each creature. Normally I don't put that in, unless I feel like it. And I said I wasn't going to worry about versions, but now I do want to worry about versions, because I want to put in our cameo from Deadpool. This is each player sacrifices 13 creatures. That's just gross, but yeah, we'll do that version. And then while I'm here, the important thing to know about Chaos Warp, Gruff Rewrites History, Transforms Flourish, and Wild Magic Burst, I think the other one was called, is that they may or may not get a card to replace it. I think Chaos Warp is the one that where it's maybe, but all the other ones they do get another card. That is super emo. All caps, make them pay. And our good friend Deadpool again. There we go. 15 out of 18 pieces of removal isn't the worst I've ever done. And now I would protection. The same pieces that went into the Sonic deck. T-Equip. O Indestruct. Doesn't help against the Blasphemous Edict. But, and then of course Shadow Spear. And of course that. Yeah, we're fine with that. I guess we're stealing the Pico Pico Hammer. Even though Amy Rose isn't in the deck. that. Okay, so we got a ramp, we got a removal, we got a couple of pieces of protection. Let's look for things with haste and maybe even flash. I wasn't too concerned about flash in the other deck because that wasn't the kind of fast I wanted to go. So let's go T, creature, order, CMC, O, haste, or O, flash. I'm going to check on some messages really quick. Okay, boy, that's a lot of stuff that I'm going to have to give more attention to after this episode. Let's see. Oh, lifelink haste on the Banehound, who's also just a 1/1. That's interesting. The Fanatical Firebrand, who has haste and can sacrifice itself to deal damage to a thing. That's funny. Actually, I do like this enough as kind of a Rivals of Ixalan. As kind of a thing that if Shadow's out, we draws us a card. And maybe we can like deal damage to something. We'll see how that goes. The Ginger Brute. I'm kind of jealous that they get this one. Honestly, I don't like looking at them. I'm going to be very honest. Let's see. Oh, I just had just a lot of ideas of things that would be good. Like not great, just good. Nope, sorry. My brain went places, and I'm like, oh, that's so good, isn't it? The Scoundrel is still a good card. Oh, Dreadhorde Butcher. It becomes a bigger problem the longer it's on the field, and then it deals damage equal to its power to any target when it finally goes away. It is heavy removal bait, in my opinion, but man, I do like to slide that into decks. Hopefully the thing I am thinking about, or all of the things that I'm thinking about kind of show up here, and then I remember that I was thinking about them. Oh, they have flash. Too bad they're a game changer now. Doodly doo. Oh, I like the red herring. Because... Oh, this is the original red herring, like when it was a test card, but then they changed it to this. That is way better. So we can sacrifice to just to draw a card, and then we get a second card. It's not going to be all haste because there are other things that are going to be going in here. But this is just kind of a first pass what actual stuff with haste. Oh, she makes treasures. Yeah, good old Captain Lannery Storm. Oh, never mind, it's Vaughn. Everybody's favorite protagonist from all of Final Fantasy. When I get to this one specific creature, I'm gonna... Oh, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Oh, this is one of the things. Because it makes... Let's flip it over. It makes things with temporary at haste. And then it sacrifices... So we draw a card at our next end step. This is not available anywhere, but it is apparently a secret layer card. I hope this comes out soon, because that's pretty raw. And this $15 version is much better than the base version. Of course, we're going to see a lot of the same stuff because it has all of the red from the previous deck. Legion Warboss was another one I was thinking about. It makes it doesn't sacrifice at the end of turn, but it does make a garbage creature that might just die, or get in for one if your opponent decides not to block it. Which just feels like some old-fashioned win-win scenario. Oh, no, Mobilize doesn't give them haste. They come in tapped and attacking. That is different. At the beginning of combat of your turn, you get a 2 elemental creature token with trample and haste that sacrifices the next end step. And then we have this tutor thing if we have 5 or more cards die in the same turn. Like the tutor part, not important. The free creature every turn, more important. I do like these this silly temporary creature plan. Not going to worry about Screaming Nemesis. It's a good card, but I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, that mills people and then steals out of the graveyard. That is not Q. Oh, Chainer Minor Nightmare Adept for a completely unrelated reason. Because it gives haste that we're probably not going to need, but we can discard cards to cast creatures from our discard pile. That's just value. Turn a card we don't need into a card we need. Or a creature we don't want. Like if it's late game and we get one of those low-end haste creatures, we can turn it into something that went away. And of course, our good friend Go-Go. Everybody's friend Go-Go. Jax is the troublemaker, discards cards. I don't like that. We're going to grab old Kiki Jiki when we pass by him, because that's... We just got to make sure we don't put any infinites on accident. Oh, haste on the backside. Interesting. We're not going to Thundering Raiju this time. Oh, wait. No, is this one? Oh, Gold Span Dragon is still a good addition. Because treasures are artifacts. By the way, I really need to reread him really quick. Oh, each spell. That's funny. There we go. Put him into copy. We're at 87 for the record. There's Kiki Jiki. We want them. And I specifically want that style. We're at mana value 5, so that's good. What's funny is that Brash Taunter would have been funny as heck in the Sonic deck, but I decided not to put him in there, I guess. Dalek Emperor making hasty Daleks. Mildly interesting. Scroll to top. So T creature, order NBC, haste or flash. O token, O sacrifice, O end step. Okay. I was just... Oh, we don't need them to be... We don't need them to be creature, but we want them to be permanent. Is permanent. Because there's a couple of things that are not creatures that I do want. This thing populates at the beginning of combat on our turn. I'm not sure how important that is. We can get this Chandra to make elementals. I don't think that's entirely worth it. Oh, Urbrax Forge gets a slightly bigger, gives us a slightly bigger creature each turn. That's mildly worth it. Oh, Ortheon, of course. It's more expensive than the other ones. But it has this 5-token variant if we have the mana. Okay, that does not make anything with haste. Okay, that was sadly everything. Wait, create a token that's a copy of target creature in your graveyard, except that's an artifact in addition to its other types. It gains haste. Okay, it has to be in the graveyard. Okay, and it does. I was worried that it removed the thing that it copied. But it doesn't, so it's fine. There we go with that. We are at 91. Boy, fewer things made it over here than I thought it would. Let's see. Fable of the Mirror Breaker made it over here. But I actually do kind of want it over here, even though, like, there's a high chance it gets removed before it gets to the backside, but that's fine. Now, where did the other guy go? Did he end up? He ended up in recursion. That's funny, because that's not what he does. Well, I guess technically that is what he does. Temporary recursion. Let's look at creatures with flash a little bit harder. So that's rogues. That targets knights. Oh, this is interesting that this thing gets +1/+1 counters for each creature that died that turn. That may or may not be, like, really good. And then this can only be cast if a creature died this turn. I think... I mean, it's a 5/3. Pirate. This has a chance of entering as bigger than a 1/1. I don't know if I care enough, though. Okay, that's about goblins. Oh, this is a very interesting clone effect. You may have activated Sleeper into the battlefield as a copy of any creature in a graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn, except it's Phyrexian in addition to its other types. I just like this as an interesting card. Well, the thing is that it won't have flash anymore. That stinks. It was cool until I realized it won't have flash anymore. There's Oppo Agent over here. When Lobelia Sackville Baggins enters the battlefield, exile target creature card from an opponent's graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn, then create X treasures where X is the exiled card's power. Okay, you know what? I like that. And like, she definitely looks a lot more sinister in this one, so we're just gonna go with that. Lobelia. Let's see. Oh, Ebon Death Lich can be cast from the graveyard if something else, but not named to it, was put into a graveyard. If something else died that turn, so there we go with that. And this just sweet art. Flash Flying Lifelink. Something that was dealt damage. Oh, that reminds me of a thing that I need to grab. That doesn't have... That is a hilarious thing with Flash. I think we're going to put this in at our higher end because it amuses me greatly. I'm just picking my favorite expansion symbol to look at. Okay, so how many does that put us at? That puts us at 95 still. Okay, good. So whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking, otherwise it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Booyah. And then what does this do? Oh, that's just Vampire. So now we're at 4 more. Let's see, was there any other... anything else? It's funny that this thing's put in tokens because, like, we don't know where else to put it. How many creatures do I have now? We are at 19 creatures. That does make me feel slightly better. Yeah, sorry for going quiet again. Oh yeah, she also makes treasures. Dur. I do like how this deck is going. I highly doubt I'm totally original other than by putting bad, silly cards in it. Just to kind of... for flavor reasons or because they're part of the secret layer. Okay, so is permanent sacrifice. No, that's the part. That's the part that stays. A creature or another creature. At this point, I'm not too worried about mana cost. Oh, Ashnod's Altar is kind of funny because that is an artifact source. Sorry, just kind of moving how I'm sitting. Man, I should take off my socks. My feet are warm. Actually, I'm going to see CMC this because there are things. And my feet are in fact warm. So off these go. They can go over here. Just set them aside. Oh yeah, Diamond Valley. Wow. Sacrifice a sacrifice a creature to gain life equal to its toughness. Not super important, but notice how they never reprinted it. Except for in MTG-O. Phyrexian Tower, but that's not an artifact. Oh, there's this land. That's right. This land exists. It enters tapped. It taps for black, and then you can pay 2, tap it, pay 2 life, sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to its power. Activate as a sorcery. I don't think we're going to do that. Not that one. Oh, Carrion Feeder. We're going to do that. It's definitely a 1,000,000,000% removal bait. Ooh, and this is $20 more for some sweet art. But it's free sacrifice, and that's what we're looking for. It's free repeatable sacrifices. Definitely what I should say. That's the same thing with Viscera Seer. They never once changed its art. That's so mildly interesting. Now we're in 2. My brain just thought of another card, and it just tried to run right out of my brain again. It had something to do with the fact that we don't have to worry about. No, that was the thought that got in the way of the thought. Is that we don't have to worry about these things drawing cards as long as we have our commander out. So, but there is another. is another creature that I am... that is a free sack outlet. I hope that other thought comes back, because that's annoying. Astronaut's Altar coming up again, and... you know what? That is pretty good. Oh, and we're going to do this silly version, even though it's 45 bucks. From the, Monty Python and the Holy Grail Secret Lair. Okay, now we're getting into kind of expensive... oh, here. Sacrifice another creature or artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on Evereth, Viceroy of Plunder. If the sacrifice permanent was a treasure, she gets lifelink until end of turn. This is not the one I was thinking about. Oh yeah, she's one of the waifu cards from Jumpstart 25. Set EOE had one that was... is it this one? Yeah, sacrifice another creature or artifact, Surveil instead of Scry. And it's a 3/2, so that's like really good stats. Also, someone's secret layered it for some reason. What does that put me up? Oh, that put me at 101. Darn. You know what? Grim Wanderer. And then I imagine Sack Outlet has... yep, Sack Outlet had a section. Because all the things that can sacrifice for free... oh, the Carrying Feeder can't block on top of everything else. I probably should have mentioned that. Yeah, that is neat as all heck. Could it be better? Of course. Someone better than me could have made it. So that was... oh, well, that was only the first two decks. Oh, boy. Oh, you know what? This will be Sonic Part 1. And then we'll do a Sonic Part 2 next time, and that'll be... Knuckles, Amy, and Robotnik. Yeah, see you then. Two-parter. Go figure.